Throughout time, there have been men to whom justice has been more important than life itself. From these ranks come 4 men, prepared to fight valiantly on the side of justice, wherever the need may be. Joined together in this cause, they are the 4 Just Men.
There can be no excuse for the continued support given to the Moreno regime in Puerto Rico. It is a corrupt regime, a dictatorship whose leaders are contemptuous of democracy. I appeal to the honorable members. Let the British government make immediate contact with the democratic forces led by Dr. Alvarez. Let them stop the shipment of arms to Moreno and say to him that...
Yeah.
Well, it was a good speech, Mr. Manfred. I wish I'd been there to hear you.
So do I, Jock. That would have made an audience of 11.
11? In the whole House of Commons?
11 it was, Jock, if you'd been there. It seems nobody cares about what's happening in Puerto Rico.
Looks like Guy Fawkes had a point when he tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah. But I was hoping to get the Foreign Secretary moving.
Well, if you ask me, a stick of dynamite would be better. Do you really think this Moreno regime will fall?
It's a dictatorship. Sooner or later, they all fall.
What about this other bloke? What's his name? Dr. Alvarez. Is he any better?
Yes, Alvarez is a good man. I met him once when he was lecturing over here. He's about the one man who could unite the entire country. Moreno's tried to assassinate him twice. He's gone into hiding, so that's why it's so darn difficult to find out what his plans are.
Hello? Oh, hold on, please. Miss Lopez.
Lopez? Hello?
Mr. Manfred?
Yes?
I have read your speech. I arrived a few days ago from Puerto Rico. Dr. Alvarez asked me to contact you.
Alvarez? Is he safe?
In hiding, but safe. And his movement grows stronger every day, even in London.
In London?
Yes, at the embassy. We have a friend there. He can give you a great many facts about the situation.
I need facts badly. I should very much like to meet your friend. This afternoon. Flat 5, 11 Yorkminster Terrace. I'll be there at 4 o'clock. Goodbye, Miss Lopez.
the girl, had you, Ben?
No, the first I heard of her was the telephone call.
Well, whoever it was made a pretty thorough job of cleaning the flat out. No passports, no papers of any kind, not even an envelope. You sure about the number of that car you saw?
Yes, GP3, and it definitely had diplomatic corps identity plates.
This friend, the one you talked about in the embassy, you think it was him?
It could be, I don't know. Perhaps he led her into believing he was a supporter of Dr. Alvarez, and then... Well, and then this.
Politics. If he decides to hide out in that Puerto Rican embassy, we're in trouble. That's foreign territory. We can't touch him there, you know.
Well, sure, it's worth a try. Look, I'll check the number.
Rosanna Lopez. A very common name, gentlemen. She could be a citizen of any half-dozen Spanish-speaking countries.
She may indeed. But at 3 minutes past 4 precisely, Mr. Manfred saw a car from this embassy, GP3, leave the place where she was murdered.
You are suggesting that someone from this embassy was there?
It seems likely.
Mr. Manfred, I suggest that you seem obsessed with my country at the moment.
You've been reading my speeches. I'm flattered.
And I am not. I consider them an insult to my country. Inspector Falworth, you must know that Mr. Manfred is very opposed to my government.
Well, sir, I have nothing to do with politics. But if there's a genuine misunderstanding, it can easily be cleared up. If you'd just let me talk to the driver of the car, for instance.
I cannot allow you to interrogate any of my staff.
Surely a few questions.
I must refuse, categorically. This embassy is not British territory. You have no jurisdiction here.
But, Your Excellency, surely it's in your own country's interest to help the British police.
I think I know better than you, Mr. Manfred, what constitutes the best interests of my country. You have only one interest, to smear the good name of my government.
But you can't really think I've fabricated this story for political reasons?
I think you realize that politics is a game where the British principle of fair play is unknown. And now, gentlemen, if you will excuse me.
Your Excellency, may I ask this question?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Manfred. You must save your question for Parliament.
Well, let us look forward to the day when your countrymen can enjoy the same privilege. Good day.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Ah, Jose.
Excellency?
Manfred saw the car.
Did you see the driver?
Apparently not.
Then what does it matter?
It may. Tell Carlo to keep an eye on Mr. Manfred.
What can Manfred do?
He is a politician with a conscience. An unusual combination. Could be dangerous.
Yes, of course. Very well, sir. Goodbye, sir.
And what does the Foreign Office say?
Well, according to them, there's nothing much we can do, short of declaring war.
So the murderer goes free.
Yes. Well, not exactly. If he steps outside the embassy, we could arrest him. That's if we knew who he was.
But we know it was somebody in the embassy.
Ben, you saw a car with a corps diplomatique identity plate, but we still don't know who was in that car. And even if we did, it doesn't prove that he was the murderer.
Are you trying to tell me that there's nothing we can do now?
Thanks.
Sit you down.
Look, Ben, a diplomat could be another Jack the Ripper, and the police would be powerless to act against him, as long as he stays in his embassy.
Well, I know that's the law, but the least you can do is to set a watch on the embassy.
But who'd we be looking for?
I don't know. I might be able to tell you later.
Now, don't go looking for trouble, Ben. These people take their politics seriously, you know.
Don't worry. I'll plead parliamentary privilege. Make yourself at home.
Moving in or just passing through?
I was just looking around. But what,
Oh, I just had a nosebleed.
You're pretty cool. For all you know, I might be a mass murderer or a burglar.
So you're a burglar. So I scream. So what?
Somewhere deep down, there's logic to that.
It's my subject. Logic?
Student, philosophy, London University.
Correct. Detective, private, hired by Ricky's wife to spy on us?
No, I'm afraid not.
Correct. Ricky hasn't got a wife. Now, can I ask what the heck you're doing breaking into this apartment?
Yes, I want to see Mr. Hernandez, Ricky.
What for?
Now it's my turn to ask one. What the heck are you doing here?
Oh, I'm always here, more or less. We go together. Or as Mummy says, he's my fiancé.
Mummy has the right idea.
Mummy's a half-wit.
Well, nobody could say that about her daughter.
Do you know what my mother called me? Hillary. Me, Hillary. What can you do with a name like that? I'd like to be called Carmela. Would that suit me?
Perfectly.
What do you want to see Ricky about?
Murder.
Murder? Are you mad? Who would Ricky want to murder?
When did you last see him?
The day before yesterday. He's the cultural attaché at the embassy.
Did you know his friend, Rosanna Lopez?
Rosanna? No, I didn't. I expect that's Ricky. It's for you.
Luckily, it's not as bad as it looks.
Oh, that's reassuring, Jock, as long as it's not as bad as it feels.
And this girl, Hillary, where was she when you came to?
She'd gone. The whole place had been ransacked. Luckily, they didn't go through my pockets.
Is this the girl?
Yes. And the man is Senor Ricardo Hernandez, cultural attaché. If that's the gentleman I met, the possessor of a very cultured right hook. Inspector, why do you say,
Well, if you will go breaking into other people's flats, you can't blame them if they get a bit nasty about it. If only you had something a bit more concrete, Ben.
Inspector, may I remind you that A, I discovered the body, B, I identified it, C, I got the number of a car leaving the scene of the crime, D, I've discovered the name of suspect number 1, E, I've even given you a photograph of him, F, I've just been knocked on the head by same. Now, before I exhaust all the letters in the alphabet, what else can I possibly do except wrap him up in a parcel and deliver him at Scotland Yard?
Well, I think I'll go along and have a look for this girl. Shouldn't be too hard to find. That's if she really is at London University.
Oh, no, you don't. I've done so little so far. I will find Miss Hillary. I feel Scotland Yard owes me that.
Well, let me know how you get on. And keep your guard up.
I will. I most certainly will. Hello, Hillary. Or should I say Carmela?
Look, I'm sorry, but why can't you leave Ricky alone? He hasn't done anything. You policemen are all the same.
I'm not a policeman. My name is Ben Manfred.
The MP?
Yes?
I thought you were interested in justice.
I am.
Then why do you keep persecuting Ricky?
Why did he attack me?
That wasn't Ricky.
Then who was it?
They were from the embassy. I didn't know they were going to beat you up.
I didn't hear you protesting.
They said you were after Ricky. I happen to love him. That's pretty important to me.
More important than murder?
Ricky didn't murder that girl. I know he didn't.
Then why is he hiding in the embassy?
The embassy people thought it best.
So you haven't spoken to Ricky himself?
No.
But surely he must know that you're worrying. I mean, hasn't he phoned you to say that he's safe?
No.
Oh, surely there'd be no danger in making a phone call unless... Did you and Ricky ever talk politics?
Politics? We had better things to do.
Yes, of course. But did he ever tell you what he thought about the Marino government or the ambassador?
He didn't think very much of either of them.
No?
No. I remember he was very angry once. He tried to get hold of a book from Guatarica for me. Philosophy and Government, it was called. But all the copies had been destroyed because...
Because the book had been written by Dr. Pablo Alvarez. Hmm?
Yes, that's right.
What did these thugs from the embassy tell you?
They said that they'd smuggle Ricky into his own country and that I could follow in a few weeks' time.
I don't believe Ricky's in hiding after all.
What do you mean?
I think he's being kept prisoner at the embassy. That girl, Rosanna Lopez, told me that she had a contact in the embassy. Must have been Ricky. The embassy found out. Somebody killed Rosanna, and now they're sending Ricky back to Guatarica for trial.
Killing that girl?
For treason. For wanting to read Dr. Alvarez's books. For wanting everybody in his country to have a vote to Marino. That's treason. Come on, Hillary. Anything moving?
Not a thing. We're checking everybody going in and out of the embassy. If you're right, they'll have to be jolly clever to smuggle him out.
You are very popular with the London police, Senor Hernandez. You will not be so popular with our own police when you return home. We have a way of dealing with traitors.
I am a patriot, not a traitor.
It is an amusing situation, is it not? The police think you are a murderer. We know you are a traitor. And you are powerless. You can shout for help, and no one can hear you. You have prepared something, Colonel?
Yes, Excellency. For a peaceful journey.
I'm Inspector Falworth of Scotland Yard. I must ask you to open this crate.
That is not necessary, Inspector. You have no authority to do this.
We're not in the embassy now, sir. I'm within my authority to ask that the crate stays here till I phone the Foreign Office.
This is outrageous.
I'm sorry, sir.
Oh, Mr. Manfred, do you think he's dead?
They wouldn't be in such a hurry if he were.
But he must be. How can he breathe in there if he's alive?
That's an idea. That crate must be a cover for something else. That's logic, isn't it?
What?
I've an idea. Come on.
I assure you, Inspector, that my government will make the strongest possible protest.
I'm sorry, sir. I want to see inside that crate. That'll clear the whole matter up, one way or the other.
Oh, there's an old friend. GP3. And that place backs onto the embassy.
They probably keep the car here all the time. So what?
So we'll put your logic to the final test. Go back to Falworth and get him to bring some men round here.
I trust you're not going to interfere again in the affairs of my country.
I have done so already. I have taken the precaution of disconnecting the ignition in your car.
I hope not, Mr. Manfred. Go and look at the car.
We're in England here. I've every right to interfere. And here comes the inspector to make it official.
I must ask you to accompany me to Scotland Yard, gentlemen.
Are you all right?
I want asylum here. He's a traitor.
No, you're the traitor. You and everybody else who can only rule with a gun in their hand.
He killed Rosanna.
Mr. Ryder in New York.
Hello, Jeff.
Dr. Alvarez is safe.
That's wonderful news.
He managed to get out of the country. He arrived in New York this morning. He's going to put his case before the United Nations. And by the way, he mentioned somebody in London, Ricardo Hernandez. He said he'd like to have him in New York.
I've got Ricardo with me here. He could catch a plane tomorrow. Can you meet him at the airport? Fine. All right, and take good care of him.
Mr. Manfred? Mr. Manfred.
Oh, just a minute, Jeff.
Could I go too?
You? Do you think that will help Guatarica's case?
I don't know, but it'll certainly help mine.
Jeff, there'll be 2 people to meet tomorrow.